get a little bit of a break, at least in terms of living creatures you have to take care of.
Yeah, because that dog's like a third child. He
As
weighs
all dogs
like a
should
third
be.
child as well.
His
What kind
dog
of
goes
dog
to
is it?
daycare.
That's adorable.
He goes to daycare 2 to 3 times a week.
Does he come back and tell you all about his days?
No, he just craps out on the his bed and sleeps for the entire night.
Yeah. Usually you'll hear him moaning, like groaning in the background.
That's nice.
It's
Sometimes you
hilarious.
hear my dog
You know
snoring
he
in the
had
back.
a good day.
Ooh, it looks like y'all just went live. I can host now.
Yep, we're all set.
Pew, pew, pew,
Awesome.
pew.
You have any questions before we get rolling into it? I try and respect everybody's time. I don't want anybody turned into a pumpkin or anything like that. So.
That's fair. No, I mean, I'm good. The main thing I just wanted to know was how much I needed to hold back my typical language.
No, right on. I appreciate that. No, yeah, if, like I said, one slips through, no worries. I can catch it on the edit.
All right, all right.
Awesome. Who wants to do the opener and disclaimer and everything tonight?
Not it.
Doc?
I can do it. Let me pull it up.
Man.
You want me to do the disclaimer again? Did you want to just grab the audio from the other one I had?
I can grab the audio. I can just clip it. Actually, I did clip it, so yeah, we're good with that.
Now, you know what? It'd probably be a good idea since we're gonna have a pretty live chat tonight.
It's gonna be lively. Ooh, just remind me. I can put this in my Discord.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
Oh yeah, whose notifs are?
Oh, those might be mine. Yep, that was me. Sorry.
What, notifications?
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything.
I didn't hear anything either.
Thank you, Tenno.
Hey, 10.
Oh, I see that you twote now. Let me just quick pop
Yeah.
an RT on that.
It's a process.
We take time.
That's cool. I feel that. I think my community is used to me doing things in my own way as well. You got to do what you got to do.
Right on.
It's true.
Professionals in an unprofessional manner.
Yes, I am quite a professional. Totally. That's the word most people use.
That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it.
When they describe me, it's definitely professional is the first word that comes to mind.
We all do our best.
Liked, retweeted. I think everyone's good.
Yeah.
I think so. Awesome.
Ready?
JL, you want to take us into it?
Yep.
Are we gonna
Sure.
clap?
So you want to do the clap?
We can if you want. It's fun. I like to see how
Sure. We can
synced we
stick
are.
up the audio for you. All right. So we do a 1, 2, 3, and then everyone claps just
Yep.
for Joe.
Just for Joe. All right.
Yeah, it's just for me.
1, 2, 3.
Oh crap. For Joe.
Clap for Joe. Actually, that's probably going to turn into a thing right there.
You're like
It probably
Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
If you start to get tired or anything, we'll all just clap for you.
It's a good. You didn't burn your F-bomb on that one.
Yes. I'm saving that for a special occasion.
Oh.
Hello, and thank you for joining us once again for the Guardians MH podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Dr. Goku, and tonight we have Joe,
Hey, what's going on?
Nate,
Howdy.
Alan,
How's it going?
and Matt.
Hey.
If you're joining us for the first time, Guardians MH is a 501c3 nonprofit focused on promoting mental health awareness throughout the gaming community, and with being the first step in assisting individuals with gathering meaningful resources in a safe and inclusive atmosphere. Our podcast is another way to normalize talking about mental health and is a fusion of mental health topics and gaming. So please welcome our guest tonight, Snaps. How are you doing, Snaps?
Yellow. I'm doing well. Having a nice night.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. I mean, it's such a pleasure and honor to have you on with us.
That's really nice. I'm happy to be here. I love anyone who's trying to get out there and obviously spread the word and try and offer resources when it comes to mental health. It's getting talked about more, but it's still not talked about enough.
Agreed.
No, it's still stigmatized, but every time someone does something, it's at least getting the word out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think just nowadays, just in the past several years, it's becoming more normalized talking about it and opening up and sharing and this and that. But still, every day you can see areas and topics that are still, like JL and you said, are still stigmatized. So the more that we show support, and of course my dog barks.
Hi, puppy.
He wants to be in the show as well.
Mm-hmm. Your dog's trying to tell its story. Don't stifle it. Let it speak from its heart.
Be in the show as well.
He's trying to tell me that somebody just walked by the front door.
Yeah, he's protecting you from the dangerous outsider.
I was just gonna say, it's a good guard dog.
Yeah, good job, pupper. Life
Woof, woof, danger.
saved.
Woof.
Good job, Dingo.
Good
You
job,
earned your food
Dingo.
tonight.
you
You
earned your
earned claps just like your dad.
you earned your keep.
Thanks. Awesome. Well, Snaps, why don't you share with us and listeners that might not know you who you are and what you do?
Oh, I'd prefer not to, actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
Wait, there goes that first segment.
This is over,
Moving
right?
on.
We're done.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so I'm Snaps, and I am a Twitch broadcaster and podcaster and all over the social media, and I do what we came up with, I guess, as a term of just mindfulness coaching. Try to help people find ways to bring a little more awareness into their days. And I'm a passionate mental health advocate, not expert. And just like mental health and mindfulness, aside from a lot of really ridiculous things, are the primary discussions on the channel. Like, it'll be like poop and farts, and then talk about whether or not you're taking good care of your body, and if you've meditated lately, if you're going to therapy, whatever.
I really appreciate almost the daily. I don't keep up on social media that close, but you always are reminding people to stay hydrated, which is very important. It's one of the 4 pillars. And also, I love your meditation and yoga streams.
Oh,
There was
nice,
one
thanks.
specific one that really stuck out to me, and it's when your dog came in and it was just cuddle time. That was so wholesome and real, but just the joint meditation of it, because meditation is many different forms. It's not just one breathing exercise or this and that. It could be a multitude of things, just quiet time essentially. And that was just such a great moment, and it was like over a year ago, but still I really love that one. So
That was a nice day. So Capone, my dog, he's an older boy and he's just got a lot wrong with him, the poor dude. So he gets really worked up, and we call him Sensipig when he's being a sensitive little piggy. So he would come in, and the only way to satisfy his need for love is to full blown spoon him sometimes, and that's what I did. And I was singing him a song, because who doesn't spoon their dogs and sing them songs when they're sad? So I was singing him "You Are My Sunshine," and my friend took a screenshot, and she actually did an illustration of it, and I just love it
that's
so much.
awesome.
I'm gonna put it on a pillow. It's the cutest thing ever.
I have done that to one of my cats. I really have, especially my tubby one.
You're a wonderful cat dad, then, and we stan a good cat dad, man.
Kind of hard to do that with my dog just due to the size. But my firstborn, my firstborn son, we sing him "You Are My Sunshine" every single night. That's his go to bed song.
It's a bop,
Oh.
It really slaps, right?
You all got sweet songs for your kids. Mine goes to sleep to Disturbed Sound of Silence.
Ooh.
What?
But
I like
That's
it.
what's up.
no, I
Yes.
love that.
Yeah.
His voice just knocks her right out.
He's
It's that baritone.
It's a beautiful voice.
Daddy does
does
tone.
amazing live too. I've seen him live a bunch of times. He's amazing. But they've been doing like heavy metal bands and as like lullabies. They'll redo the whole song to make it like a child song almost. It's great.
This
I
is a
have-
I think
thing.
I actually have
This is the
that
thing.
one of those
That's pretty dope.
albums either on my phone or somewhere that we used to put in the car for our firstborn.
Yeah, I have a few collections of them. Did we mention, Snaps, that we like to sidetrack all over the place?
Oh, that's perfect. Then I
Yeah.
am meant to be here with
Yeah,
you.
That's kind of our shtick.
yeah,
Great. That's great. I mean, I think that's one of the best things about being a mental health advocate kind of group is like not everything has to be this like topical discussion. It needs to be normalized that you can talk about the weird stuff and talk about, needing to spoon your cat and then go on to how that makes you feel psychologically, right? Like why not
It
get into
releases
all
the
of it?
oxytocin.
Exactly.
And
That's
it
what I'm
also
saying, like,
allows
that's
us-
perfect.
We recognize our flaws in that we tend to sidetrack, and we are able to work on them as we move forward.
Yeah, you're being, you're accepting yourself as you sidetrack on this thing that some people would do their best to keep on track, but you're all like, heck that, man, heck that.
Kitties. So, I mean, we were talking pre-show, and yeah, I mean, I've been following you for over 5 years now, and you didn't always do the mindfulness thing. I remember when I first started watching you, it was trials and pro bro snaps, right? Or
Yeah, Dr. Bro Snaps.
I remember the trials days.
Yeah.
like, what, at what point did you decide to kind of shift? I mean, I know you still play Destiny, but kind of shift more towards the mindfulness, because I remember you used to get a little upset when you'd play.
Oh, yeah. My name is She Snaps partially because of that. A lot of people thought it was just because I was a photographer, but it was because I was an angry photographer. So, like, it was one of those weird things that people tend to find entertaining when people have outbursts. So it was really easy to be like, whatever, I'll just include that in my brand. The fact that like I'm angry all the time, who cares? Because I'm a competitive gamer and that's tough and stuff. I don't know. But yeah, I used to be very angry. I used to look forward to opportunities to like kind of direct that anger externally, whether it was like playing a game or someone coming in and trolling and me being like, all right, then we're going to have a conversation about your mother's interests right now, like, but it was like a few years ago, like I was always a mental health advocate. I wanted to talk about it, but I wasn't necessarily doing anything other than saying like, yeah, I feel you. It sucks. Like I talked about depression and anxiety and insomnia and ADHD and like everything that messed with me, how socially anxious I was, like all of that stuff. But I didn't really have much to offer other than you're not alone. And then my boyfriend and I, when we started dating, he introduced me to meditation. And when we moved in together, I recognized very quickly how detrimental my anger was. Like, I had lived with a very angry person before that, like kind of all of my exes. It was the same situation. I was usually the chill one. So I thought that I like had it under control. I thought having a temper, being angry a lot was just kind of like a part of life. Waking up angry, all that, whatever. And I used to have to be cautious about how I would interact with my ex because I never knew if he was going to be in a good mood or if he was going to be angry. And if I did the wrong thing or said the wrong thing at that time, it might be directed at me. So it was pretty early on in my boyfriend and I living together where I was having a crappy morning and I was just in a bad mood, and who knows why, because when you wake up angry, your brain will find reasons to be angry. Like you just keep adding to the list. It's internal, and then and this is why I feel this way, and this is terrible. So I was probably slamming cabinets or drawers or something, and I happened to catch him walking past me to his office, and I saw the look of like, that day, like this is the one I get today. And it really hit me like, oh man, I'm that guy now. I'm the one who he has to walk around to determine if he's going to get met with someone who's happy to see him, or if he's going to be met with me having a bad day over something that doesn't even matter. So it was like sick and tired of being sick and tired and angry. I finally did what I've done with like every other problem I've had to solve in my life, and I just went to the internet and said, I'll figure this out. And thanks to meditation and mindfulness practices, and just in general, like immersing myself in learning about my body and my brain, and asking all kinds of people for their feedback, like slowly but surely, I started to feel not just better, but completely different. Like I recognized how much I could let go of that I had attached to in terms of identity, and how much of it like really had nothing to do with me. It was stuff I could let go of. I don't have to be the angry person anymore. As I managed to get past my own anxiety and get out of depression and stop with sleeping issues, like I had insomnia so bad that when I was in high school, I went like a month without sleeping, and I was hallucinating. Like I was just
Oh man.
so messed up. I was on this awful chemical cocktail that my doctor like terribly prescribed for me. I had just lots of bad experiences, you know? So it was just this like lifetime of so much crap building up. And I finally realized that I could start kind of working on it bit by bit. So now I sleep at night. I feel good. Like I'm energized. I'm optimistic. For the first time in my life, I look forward to the future because I have confidence in myself, not in external circumstances. And once I got to that point, it was just like, what else is more important than talking about this with people? Like, there are so many people who are just still so like stuck in it. And they believe because they were raised by angry people, or because depression runs in their family, or whatever, that is just it for them, that life is just always going to be awful. And I can't sit with that anymore, you know, especially when I know that if they just did a few things reasonably for themselves, like they could start to see a difference, you know, like going to therapy and balancing out their self-care. It doesn't have to be some massive overhaul, but the minimal changes make your life feel like a massive overhaul.
And a lot of people have this misconception when it comes to therapy. They believe therapists are mystical voodoo doctors. Although I like to believe myself a little bit of a voodoo doctor at times.
I am.
I should have worn my psychologist t-shirt, or warlock or wizard. But oftentimes, they don't really understand that making small incremental changes can have long-lasting impacts. And one of the first pieces of homework I give to most of my clients, the first time they come see me, is basic self-care, which is do one thing for yourself every single day. And I always give this disclaimer that it sounds really easy, but it's really hard. Because oftentimes, the more people get busy, the more they either have a family, responsibilities with work, they tend to neglect themselves, or the responsibilities, oh, I'm doing such a great thing because I'm being X, Y, and Z, and forgetting themselves.
Yeah. I just had a conversation in my chat today with someone who was telling me when I checked them, because we have an acronym, if any of you have been around, like we talk about SHADES all the time. And SHADE stands for sleep, hydration, air, like going outside for a little walk, diet, exercise, and stillness, which would be journaling, meditation, mindful
I love
practices,
that.
whatever. So it was designed for people to remember that their futures are so bright, they got to wear shades, you know. Just check in on those things and do your best across all categories. Nothing needs to be extreme. No one has a perfect sleep schedule all the time. No one has a perfect diet. So we kind of like talk 80-20. Can you try to do more of these things and give yourself a break when you don't? And the common pushback is typically, well, I'm just the type of person, you know, again, like identity-based thinking. I'm just the type of person who always puts everyone else first. I give everyone else 100 and I leave like this much for me. And I saw that and I was like, if you're not taking care of yourself, you're not giving everyone else 100. Like straight up, they're not getting what you think you're giving to them. You'll see that when you do start actually prioritizing yourself.
And that's another example I give all the time. I use the airplane metaphor. It's the you need to put your oxygen mask on first before putting the one on your child. I have 2 kids now, and even being a therapist, and I know all this stuff, the first thing I'm going to do is instinctively put the mask on my child.
Yeah.
But if I pass out, I haven't done anything.
Yeah, if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of others. Or
And when you
go ahead.
And typically, when you focus more on other people and other things, you're avoiding what's really going on with you. I saw it a lot working in rehab, working in drug rehab. It's everybody was making sure everybody else was taken care of, or they would always cheer up other people, but when it came time to them, they avoided, they ran away. Once you can actually sit with yourself and start to focus on what needs to be worked on, that's when the true healing can begin. Not finish, but begin.
That's why I love meditation so much, because there's a simple one that I like, and it was just recently that I was showing somebody else. But just a normal breathing, it was 10 minutes, but letting thoughts come in and letting them go, and then just focus on your breathing, but just allowing those, like, any thoughts, like negative thoughts, positive thoughts, to come in, but also go at the same time and not focus on them. Just help work out a lot of things, and just kind of brought a balance to me, just helping me meditate for that and getting over a couple things. So
I find that type of meditation to be like really useful in understanding, I don't know if myself is the right way to put it, but understanding what types of thought patterns I have most often, you know? Because when you're doing that type of meditation, you're able to stay with your breath and everything just goes by.
Yeah.
It's like you're sitting on the side of the road just watching the cars go by. There's this fun like moment of noting that I'll tend to do where I see it and I'm like, oh. By the end of it, I recognize that like a good majority of the thoughts that day were about teaching. Like, okay, I struggled with this over the weekend. How do I explain it in a way that like makes people want to do something for themselves or gives them something to take away? So like those meditations and noticing the way that my brain like really enjoyed thinking through things kind of helped push me into doing what I do now, where like my Patreon podcasts that go out every Monday, they're all about like, here's where I was stuck recently and here's how I brought more awareness in and worked to choose something else. So like that meditation helped show me like, you like teaching, you like trying to translate the messages that you're receiving, you know, the stuff that life has given you.
One thing that was mentioned in chat, and that's very true, is people tend to be afraid of their thoughts. They tend to be afraid of their emotions, either where it be from learned behaviors or their upbringing, the multiple reasons why people tend to avoid those things. Problem is, avoiding it doesn't make it go away. Those emotions just sit on the sidelines waiting for an opening to kind of flood in.
Yeah. That which we
and
resist
the whole key
persists,
of mindfulness,
right?
And the whole key of mindfulness is, one, letting those thoughts and emotions in, but not judging them. Our brains, and I would like to say this in therapy all the time, is our brains can be stupid. So my stupid brain can do a lot of stupid things. Having the thought doesn't mean it's actual reality. It's my brain having a thought.
Yeah, meditation helped me a lot with that, noticing that like I'm not even the one thinking the thoughts, so I don't have to get so worked up on them. Like, wait a minute, if I'm over here watching the thoughts go by and the thoughts are still going by, I'm not the one thinking them. Why am I so worried about what they're saying? I don't have to go with it. I can choose something else. Heck that. Heck that, man. Sorry for foul language.
People think mindfulness is this, I need to be absent-minded.
Or I have to shut off my brain.
You can't shut off your brain.
That's what I keep telling people. Oh my gosh.
Your
It's
brain's going to go
frustrating.
in all directions. It's being able to take your brain and get it from here, bring it back here, and then bring it back from here. And it's always this dance.
Yeah. Firefox just tweeted out, she sent me this funny meme of or not a meme, a page from a book that was saying like meditation and mindfulness is like training a puppy. Like you just have to
like herding
expect that it's
cats.
gonna run off and then you're gonna like, okay, all right, come on back. You're not gonna be mean to the puppy. It's puppy. Bring it back. Here you go. This is what you do. Give it a little treat so it wants to do that again. Give it some extra
Right.
little scratchies.
It's practice. It's training yourself. Realistically, you don't, and I've had to say this a lot to everybody when they tell me, oh, I can't meditate, I can't concentrate, I can't.
Now with
I
that
always-
attitude.
Exactly. I tell them, but you deserve to give yourself a shot. You deserve to try again. You deserve to have what mindfulness and meditation can offer you.
So can I ask, what do you all that are in the professional situation here when you're helping clients and stuff? What do you do when someone responds and says, "But I don't feel like I'm worth it"? Because that's where a lot of people get stuck. Is like, yeah, you say I deserve this, but I don't feel that way. I don't feel like I deserve a good life. And with people like myself included in the past, at least, I had such deep self-loathing from a lot of childhood experiences and stuff that I genuinely believed there was something inherently bad about me. So if I had met myself of today, like 10 years ago, I would have told myself to heck off. Like I would not have received myself at all well. I thought that there was something so dark and despicable about me that someone telling me they cared was a statement about who they were as a person, that they're just such good people, not them actually seeing anything that was accurate.
Matt, you go first on this one.
Oh, thanks. Put me on the spot. No, I think so. I can go two routes with this. I can go a personal route. I can go a professional route. On a professional route, though, really what I have encouraged clients to do is to start slowly. One of the ways that I do it is through a form of narrative therapy. There's one client in my head that just keeps, screaming. His name is screaming in my head right now. A lot of issues. And he said the exact words that you said, but I'm not worth it. This has happened. This has happened. I actually asked him to slowly write and journal his life and how he would want to change it. And I asked him to do that over the course of, I spent 3 years with him. So I asked him to do it over the course of 3 years, to just write and how you would like life to play out. And more so, as time went on, the words started to become a bit more positive. It takes a while, because if I were to look at his journal from day one to, I can't do math, but whatever 3 years would be in days, the words started to become, I would feel happy when I hit the home run, or I would I'm going to enjoy becoming the MVP.
So you're in the journaling exercises, you're like encouraging him to kind of emotionalize the story he's telling to connect to it on that deeper level. That's cool.
Absolutely. And to also change it with the idea that it's, we can't change the past, right? But we can visualize how we want things to be moving forward, and writing that down and giving yourself that, just giving yourself that idea that things can, start to feel better again. And this is somebody who in my head, who, when I was working with him, went through tons of trauma. A lot, actually, more than anybody his age should have gone through. But he became successful. And on a personal level, my personal therapist yells at me to do this all the time. She has made me start, honestly, a gratitude list.
Ooh, I love practicing gratitude. Yes, 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 yes.
She
Glad
has,
journals.
yeah. She not that she yells at me, but she yelled at me and said, "You need to start this," and it works.
Yeah.
It
It
works.
does. It tends to progressively change your brain. And you can see it even, well, I'm going not nerdy scientist here, but it tends to change your brain on fMRI scans
Mm.
over the course of time.
God,
It
I love
changes
those.
the size of your amygdala. It tends to shrink down your amygdala and increase the compassion centers of your brain, the more you're compassionate with yourself. It takes time. So 30 minutes every single day for, I think it was a month, showed a marked improvement compared to the two fMRIs. But it takes months and years to work on that. And what you mentioned, Matt, is so true that you're changing your relationship, not what has happened, but your relationship with what happened to the past. We can't change the crap that has happened to us. We can change how we perceive it, the relationship that we have on it, but also recognizing, and it's something I do a lot in therapy, is asking the client, what's going on now? Is it a thought or is it a belief? Because if they say, oh, it's a belief, all right, prove it to me. Explain why it's a belief. Back up the statement. And
Yeah,
then they say, oh, well, because of this. Okay, explain this. And you're kind of delving into each and every statement and you're kind of breaking it down.
Mm-hmm.
And most statements they'll give are thoughts.
Yeah.
They're not based in any tangible foundations.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that I do um, with a lot with everybody, um, give me one thing that you like about yourself. Give me one thing today that you feel good about. You know,
I use
being
that.
being from
One positive thing.
give me one positive. And I actually frame it in a being from New York, I can be a little bit more aggressive because when somebody comes in and tells me, "Oh, everything is wrong," I'll look at them
Mm-hmm.
and be like, "Everything? Come on, give me one. Give me one thing."
Did you have a good
And
sandwich today? Was it a
yeah,
good sandwich?
exactly. Yeah. Was the pizza good? The pizza from
Mm-hmm.
the pizza on the corner was great. There you go. There's one good thing.
You had a nice easy poop, just in and out,
Right.
no problem, no sweat. Hell yeah, that's a good day.
There's a half a
Absolutely.
wipe. In, out, gone.
Exactly.
And it's that negative cognitive bias.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Our brains are made to look at things that confirm how we feel. If you feel like crap, you'll see the crap.
And you feel like it, yeah. You'll definitely
Yeah,
feel it too.
but if you start changing it and you start feeling good, you're going to start to see the good. And oftentimes, there's this cognitive dissonance with people in terms of what they believe they should be and what it actually is. One thing, happy is not a full year, 365 entire days of being happy.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't work. Happy is 183 good days. That's it. You can have 182 crap days in your year. If you have one more good compared to the bad, it's a good year.
Yep. See, we're going back just a step. What both of you touched on, I really loved, was how you both touched separately on how it takes time to develop these good habits and a positive view of yourself, going from the self-loathing, I'm not worth it, why am I worth it? We've all had conversations with people that have touched, said this. I know people that have called or texted into the crisis lines that say it to me, I don't feel like I'm worth this. I can't go any further in doing an assessment with them. But I love how both of you just trying to convey there is no magic pill. There is no one answer that's going to fix how you think, how you perceive yourself, how you just focus on the positive and not the negative all the time. It takes time, and you need to develop these good habits over time. Matt with encouraging the journaling and everything. Dr. Williams with working with people one-on-one over time and developing both individually developing these good habits and changing a person's outlook and having that one good thing to say about themselves every day. One good thing every day will turn into 2 to 3 to good habits. Then it's encouraging other people. Hey, I felt the same way. I was self-loathing. I hated how I looked, how I felt, and you know what? I've learned to cope with that and overcome it. You can too.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's always going to be perfect. We're going to have crappy days.
Oh yeah.
But it's what you do with it. Again, it comes to that compassion. If you're always down on yourself, and again, there are people that have had a lot of trauma in their lives. I have a couple of clients that are screaming in my head also that have had a lot of things go throughout their lives. It's not going to change in one or two therapy sessions or by taking one pill or trying mindfulness one time. It'll take work, dedication, and time. But there was a study done in 2013. So I don't know if you guys know who Richard Davidson is. Anyone ring a bell?
Yep.
He's kind of one of the forefathers of mindfulness. And he quoted a study from 2013 by Wang and his colleagues that 2 weeks of compassion training, so 30 minutes a day, had a marked improvement and in neuroplasticity of the participants' brains. Your brain's a muscle. You need to work it out.
That's how we introduce meditation a lot in my channel when we do it, is like, listen, this isn't a religious or a spiritual thing, but it can be if you want it to be. This is all about practicing building focus and learning how to let things go. And they kind of go hand in hand. You let go of one thing for the sake of the thing you're focusing on. Every time you do that, you're doing like one rep in focus. Just do a lot of that. It's great. Every time you fall asleep or fall off, go back.
I had a great meditation exercise once, and it was really about that self-love. And what the person that was guiding us through it, what she said was, if you feel yourself wander, don't beat yourself up. Come back. Pick either my voice, pick the music. Just come back. Very nice, very simple, very easy. And I think that's a lot of times too, at least what I've seen in my work, everybody gets very frustrated very quickly. And it starts that negative cycle. I can't do this. I'm never going to get better. And I tell everybody, just breathe, try again. Because there's going to be that one day where it does click or snap. And I'm sorry, that was awful. That was terrible. I'm gonna leave, and that was it.
Hey man, it was nice getting to know you,
true.
but
yeah, I don't blame you. I'm just gonna leave. Where's the exit?
But a lot of people don't necessarily understand what mindfulness is. They believe it's this newfound voodoo. So it's kind of the third wave that's happening within psychology. But mindfulness is something that we all have.
Yeah.
Just not something that we generally practice. Mindfulness, it's a basic human ability to be present, aware of where we are, what we're doing, not being overly reactive or overwhelmed about what things are going on around us. And it's something that you just can't conjure up, but you need to learn how to access it. And one thing that a lot of people don't understand is how often we get distracted, how often we just go into autopilot. And our brains have the tendency of just being in autopilot just because it saves cognitive resources. We do that all the time. We're driving. Our brains kind of go through the motions. We can kind of get lost in our thoughts and we can still follow the road.
Mm-hmm. My
One
autopilot
reason-
likes to download Reddit to my phone in moments when I'm feeling like kind of stressed or tense. Like I'll just be on my phone and I'll be like scrolling or doing something, or I'll have intentions of getting on there to do something like productive. And next thing I know, I'm kind of like in my head and my thumb has downloaded and reinstalled Reddit. And then I'm just scrolling through mindless crap for so long after that before I'm like, whoa, hold on. Who took over?
Mm-hmm.
One thing that can happen is, and I hear this a lot with a lot of clients, is, oh, I have all of these ideas when I'm in the shower.
Yeah.
It's because your mind's on autopilot. You've done it how many times in your life?
Mm-hmm.
Your brain just goes through the same routine. It brings down the cognitive process, and the other part of your brain saying, oh, let me just think about this random crap.
Yeah. I love my showers. That's where a good amount of the ideas for my stream come from.
But when we're on autopilot, we're not really doing anything. So mindfulness is being in the complete opposite of autopilot mode. It's you're experiencing the world that is firmly in the here and the now.
Like mindful
The-
eating.
Yep.
Mindful eating is one of my favorite things in the world. If someone would have told me years ago that I would not just like get excited over food because I'm kind of a foodie, but that I would be like transcending time and space while I eat a burger or something, like I would have been like, no, that's not how this works. But when I
Your
sit,
appreciation of things
yes.
just skyrockets.
Oh my gosh. Like I catch myself because I like being very mindful when I'm like cooking and stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
And I catch myself feeling ridiculous, but also like, who cares? As I'm like slicing up vegetables and I've got this like row of these beautiful colored, just perfect peppers. And I'm looking at them like, look at this. This is nature. Look at how great this is. It's so many beautiful colors and this is so nutritious. And I'm about to eat this. I'm so lucky to be living in a place where I can just, whatever cravings I want, I can have. And if I need nutrients, I can get them. And I'm like ecstatic over the colors of my peppers, It's
why I
it's a
love
real
fajitas.
treat. Oh yeah. That's what's up.
Little colors, now throw them on the fire.
Yes.
No, I love that technique too. It's great. Actually, someone said it in chat. It is a part of Weight Watchers, the actual aspect of mindful eating, but we do use that a lot in addiction treatment.
Yeah, it's a big part of weight loss.
Staying slow and
very
conscious.
much so. Yes, and it really is that aspect of enjoying the things that we kind of forgot about.
Mhm.
Right, within our everyday life, we go on autopilot, we forget, we just grab a coffee and just keep running.
Mhm.
Instead, actually take 5 minutes at most and just sit there and drink your coffee.
Yes.
Like, how
I
does it
love my coffee in
taste?
the morning.
Yes. How does
Yeah.
it
Eat
taste?
slowly.
What's in it? Yeah.
Sweet.
I noticed
We had a
through
great
mindful
conversation with him
eating
with this.
that I like always chewed on the left side of my jaw. It's like, what are you doing that for? You don't use this side of your face at all? You got
Mhm.
this whole big jaw and you're only pushing stuff that way?
Yeah. You catch things about yourself when you actually tend to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
One thing people don't necessarily realize is how distracted people are.
Yeah, you sit down in
So
front of
there's,
the TV
there was a
and then
study
just
in-
shovel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There was a study in 2010 that the results showed that about 47% of the time, the average American is not paying attention to what they're doing. 47% of the time.
I
Yeah.
saw that. And I also saw something else like along those lines. I can't remember what the number was, but it was something saying like the average number of our thoughts that are unkind, that are like negative or unpleasant for us. So like half of your day, you're basically just like lost in thought and the majority of your thoughts just suck. And then we wonder why we feel like crap all the time. We're not conscious. We're not noticing how much we're just beating ourselves up all day.
We need to understand that mindfulness, again, it's something that we need to practice, but we need to catch ourselves because we've kind of slowly been ingrained into this world, this way of thinking that is so go, 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 hustle, do more, be productive. And I've had a couple clients where break time, what the hell is a break? You need to always be doing something.
Yeah.
And we miss out on opportunities and the possibility of getting connections.
Well, what are
Go
some
ahead,
ways
Joe.
to? Well, I was just gonna say I didn't know if you were done or not. What are ways? How can people recognize when mindfulness is needed in situations like that, where it's ingrained in your mind that I got to work, work, work. I take a break when I'm going from A to B. There's no sit down and eat. I don't have time for that. How do you recognize that, or how does that person recognize that they're not taking time for themselves and slowing down?
You hire a
It takes
clown
time.
to follow you
clown.
around, right? So they
So creepy.
stealth follow you. And right as you're about to transition from one task to the other, they jump out with like a balloon animal and they say, "Stop, take a break, check in with yourself." Problem solved. Just hire clowns.
Those are
Give
my
me
That's my
nightmares.
nightmare.
I'll be
That's
sitting there
wh-
going, "I'll do whatever you want. Just go away, please."
Yeah.
I don't know if Joe's heart could handle that.
No.
Uh,
One thing people
I like
don't necessarily understand is how much we go into autopilot all the time. So, question for everyone: you're in a waiting room for whatever. What's the first thing you do when you sit down?
ooh. Can I answer this one?
Go for it.
Because I don't pull out my phone.
Oh,
All right.
I love being, well, like obviously now it's scary going out in the world, but like I really enjoy
Pre-pandemic.
yes, pre-pandemic. There are like the times when I tend to get lost in my phone is like if I'm at the end of the night or like early in the morning, if I make the mistake of going on social media before I kind of like set my intentions for my day and stuff. But when I'm out now, I do my very best to be present while I'm out in the world, and I love it so much. I went with my man to a doctor's appointment once, and we were in the like big waiting room, and it was packed. And I was the only person not on my phone, and I was just sitting there watching, and I was like, "This is the coolest show ever."
I people watch. I do the same thing.
Yeah, it's so delightful. If I'm going out for like coffee or if I'm like waiting in line for something, I'm like, what am I about to see on this channel? Okay.
what does tonight's
when
episode of
we
the
have our-
Cheesecake Factory have in store for me?
Cheese.
What happens is when we're buried in this, we miss out on all of the opportunities that are around us. And it brings us unhappiness. So a lot of people, and I think one of the studies showed that about 76% of Americans mentioned that they feel lonely. But we are so kind of drawn into these things that we miss out on social connections, even if they're momentary, waiting in the doctor's office, just pre-pandemic times,
Yeah.
waiting before a meeting, just waiting for the meeting to start, just talking with your colleagues, saying, "Oh, how was your weekend? Did you do a barbecue? What happened?"
That's
Most people are on their phone. Meeting starts. All right, put it down.
yeah, that's something that just does not happen anymore. People don't strike up a conversation with their neighbor. It's almost viewed as creepy sometimes, and I don't understand that because I come from a time where my next door neighbor, I have a very short wall, so it was like I have two choices. I can either get to know this guy, and if he's a decent guy, no harm, no foul, or I got to build a wall.
Add a couple more blocks.
Right, add a few blocks, and it turns out my neighbor's he's a nice guy. He's got a little grow going in his backyard that he very happily shares with my wife when she gets discombobulated, and anytime I need a tool or whatnot. But it's just people just they're so hyper focused in these things and in the screens in front of us that they forget to stop and be human.
Yeah.
that
Who
kind
was
of
it that
'cause we've
said they
been-
like to people watch too when you're like out doing stuff?
That would
Do
be
you
me.
ever run into another person out in the world who's also being mindful and they're kind of like relaxed and chill? It feels like when you
can
see
spot
like
them across the room.
yeah, it's like when you're driving a Jeep and you see all the other Jeeps and they do the little wave at each other. Like if you see another person and they're like kind of chill and just enjoying their time, you're like, oh, you're in on it too. What's
So
up?
I see you.
I can
I see you.
remember the last time I acknowledged and made eye contact with that person, and it was just a nod, just like, "What's up?"
Yep, you get it.
And that's,
You see.
you just keep moving and looking around at everybody. Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, no, I like how you pointed that out. Yeah.
I had
Good
that in a
point.
grocery store where I was just like walking down the aisle and I was just like having the best day. And I love talking to people too. So I was just like, eyes smiling at everyone, just like, nope, 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 nope. And then this one dude is walking down the aisle as I'm just kind of smiling to myself and he catches my eyes and he starts smiling. And then I was like, hey. And we walked past each other just going, hey. Felt like a special little moment there with another human.
And that's kind of what we need right now. We
Right?
need
More special
connection.
moments.
Yes, we need some connections with other people. Now in pandemic style, human connection is very valuable right now.
We
Very
desperately need human connections. Humans are social creatures,
Mm-hmm.
and the brain starts to atrophy when we are deprived of human connections.
Yeah.
Just do it safely at a distance of 6 feet wearing a mask.
Yeah.
fire up a Zoom call like this. It's better than nothing. At least you can see faces and you can get
Even Discord,
yeah. Oh, there's big thing that and we've seen it in our Discord, and I've seen it many times. Doing entire relationships and conversations over text sometimes loses that personality.
Yeah.
You lose
Sure
the
does.
nuance.
Yes.
Can convey a lot better. So
Yeah. Watching someone nod at you like this, just so excited about what you're saying.
That's
Yeah, well, it comes back to communication, which is another, you can kind of throw it into mindfulness. Because if you're not paying attention to who you're talking to, your message can be just complete left field. And I bring this example back often with my clients because, one, I'm Canadian, so I'm from the Atlantic coast of Canada.
I'm sure. I don't know if that checks out. I haven't heard one apology since I got on this.
It's early.
I heard
It's
none
early.
sorries.
I'm sorry. I'll give you
let
some.
me
Thank you.
let me just validate that he is from Canada. He was having maple whiskey.
Oh, ooh,
True story.
That's
Right.
yummy though. Maple whiskey. That's what's up. I
It's like
love whiskey.
drinking maple syrup.
Oh yes, give me that with
Gotta
like a
find
side
that.
of some kind of meat.
Moose.
So within communication, it's even if you live in the same province. So the province I'm from is relatively small in comparison to the rest of the country. But me and my fiance are from two opposite ends of the province, and both of our native tongues are French. But she's more of the Quebec side of French, and I'm more of the southern Atlantic coast, so more Acadian.
Okay.
And the types of words that I may use may not be in her own dialect. So if I use specific words that it's my normal everyday, she has no idea what I'm talking about. Even after like almost 10 years of being together, I can throw out words. It's like, you said what?
Yeah, and if you weren't being mindful, right, then you just kind of like blow past that. You say a bunch of stuff that no one understands, and then you just like go on to the next point.
Yep.
I
So
heard
you
this.
kind of need to be mindful in the moment of who am I talking to? How am I talking?
Yeah. I heard this great quote that said most conversations are actually monologues delivered in the presence of witnesses. And I was like, oh, yes,
Yeah,
that
that's
is
true.
it.
Because you're monologuing to someone, the person is receiving the message, interpreting the message, and then responding back in their own little monologue. But there's always this part in the middle where things can get lost in translation. Example I like to give, telephone game. Everyone played the telephone game?
Mm-hmm.
How well does it go?
Very well. The message gets delivered with wonderful accuracy. There's never any problems. It's great.
I call shenanigans.
I was always the guy that tried to change the message, so.
You were the one who deliberately tinkered.
It's all Alan's fault.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Alan is the breeder of chaos.
I like your style, man. I like it.
But you know, telephone games never goes well. Not typically, at least.
Mm-mm.
I think the other way too to recognize that you kind of need to start being mindful, and again, somebody mentioned it in chat, when we're so stuck on autopilot, we're no longer finding any pleasure or joy in the things that we were doing. Right? When you can't pick up Destiny or a video game or Animal Crossing, and you don't find joy in it anymore. Like you need to you need to slow down a little bit and really start to think like, okay, how is my village going to look today in Animal Crossing, and really get that joy back.
Too much.
You had to slide it in there.
You hit it twice.
So while I was being very serious in what I said, the reason that they're all laughing is because ever since I came on this podcast with them, Animal Crossing has been involved in every podcast so far.
I'm
And
glad that you
at
didn't
least a
drop the
mention
ball
of it
here,
somewhere.
buddy. I'm glad you
And-
didn't mess that up.
And that's why it needs to continue.
Hey, you know, like you learn how to communicate effectively there too, right? You gotta be nice to your villagers and accept that some of them don't leave even when you'd like them to.
It's true. It's very true. Where's my Switch? Hold on.
But what you mentioned, Matt, is so true that a lot of people go into autopilot that they're saying, and I'm going to do this one thing for me, and I'm going to watch this TV show, and then pull out the phone, and they're not even watching the show. Did you enjoy the show? Oh yeah, it was good. What happened? Well, I'm not sure. All right, you were scrolling. Anything interesting? Not really. So what did you do for the past hour and a half?
It was an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Describing my
Usually
evening
they're like,
last night.
what?
Yeah. It's true. It's very true.
What if you saw that
It's
episode
hard
already?
to be. It's hard to be mindful.
It is. You know, there's so many distractions, and you know, one of the hardest things is being able to put down the electronics. You know, put down the cell phone, the tablets, and everything like that, and just be in the moment. You know, just even if you're sharing a 2-hour Harry Potter movie with your significant other on the couch, you know what I mean? Putting the phones down, like throwing them in the kitchen, whatever, not touching them, and just being in the moment with each other, watching a movie, playing a game. You know, how many times do you get the chance to play a 2-player game on the couch with somebody? Never. You know.
It's true.
Make it specific and a plan to do it.
Yeah. I made a
Making
general
it
rule
a
for
conscious
myself
effort.
to stop taking the phone to the bathroom because, like, really, it's gross, right? Like, we don't talk about it enough, but it's gross. So I was like, all right, that's one space. Leave the phone out of there. And then the bedroom. I don't want a TV in my bedroom, and I don't want my phone in there. Like, it's if you're in a relationship, it's just like a intimacy killer. And if you're not, then it's a great way to get super stuck. So like, if I have my phone with me for a lot of different parts of the day, I'm trying to at least give myself the ability to like use the bathroom in peace and go into my bedroom in the morning and at night, like away from that stuff.
Thank you for acknowledging that. It is pretty super gross. You know,
It
I don't know
is.
how many people I know go to the bathroom with their phones, and it's just like, did you wipe that down? Like,
Yeah.
Well, we always hear wash your hands, so people wash your hands, but also wash your phone.
Yeah, those things
Yeah.
are petri dishes, homies. That's
We-
some nasty stuff.
Your nasty hands rub on it all the time. Wash your phone.
Poop particles, bud. Poop particles.
All over him.
All over it. And like, you know what I think? It's another one of those things that's like kind of silly, but it's also a fun part of mindfulness. is that some of the more simple tasks or bodily habits even can be more pleasant. Like a lot of people are on their phones just like hunched over when they're trying to poop and stuff. And they have these really uncomfortable, long, drawn out poops, or they're not paying attention to their bodies. They're trying to force turds out that aren't meant to be forced out yet. Like you can harm yourself by not mindfully pooping, trying to pop a blood vessel in your eye and get poop all over your phone. Just leave the phone out of the bathroom. It's not that hard. Have a poop, be in touch with your body, pay attention to the way it feels in your stomach as you drop the kids off at the pool. It's surprisingly interesting. Are you all
Matt's
having a
losing it
fun
over here.
podcast now?
There's this really comical image of somebody just sitting there with like veins popping out of their head now.
As mu-
The
as much
throbbing
as-
head vein.
Yeah, because they're in the middle of playing Animal Crossing or something, as they're just like squeezing as hard as they
Sorry.
can.
So as much as we're laughing, though, it is very true. It's a time to be mindful and check in with the body,
Yeah,
making sure
like
everything's okay.
with childbirth, when you're like in tune with your body, it tells you when to push. It tells you when to get that poopy out of your butt. Like if you weren't paying attention to your body, then you're just gonna go in there and try and force it out. You might hurt yourself. Genuinely, like you might.
Yeah.
And if not, you're probably just not having as pleasant and peaceful of a pooping experience as you could. You might get there and be like, "Oh, I thought you were ready, but you got to cook a little longer. I'll be back."
Right? Eat more fiber. Back to the.
Yeah,
Drink less caffeine. Drink
That
more
or
water.
Metamucil.
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah. Some oatmeal and a Metamucil, you'll be all right.
It's 2020, people. Buy a squatty potty and a bidet. Leave your phone out of the
A
bathroom.
squatty potty? What is a squatty
Squatty
potty?
potty.
Joe, you don't know what a squatty potty
Don't
is?
tell me I'm the only one here that doesn't know. What
There
this
is
is.
I think you are the
There's
only
this
one.
magical thing called a squatty potty that
Yeah.
helps ergonomically
God, it
change
comes
your
right up
your
on a
body
Google search.
position to
You've never seen the-
increase flow.
You never seen the unicorn?
The what?
With the squatty
the
potty?
unicorn.
The unicorn?
Oh, the
Joe-
stuff. Oh,
Joe,
there's
where
stuff
have you been?
I think this was at my like
Those
great
are the best
grandmother's house.
Bro, you need that in your life. It is a game changer. For like $20 to be able to put your feet up while you're making a duty, like it changes the game, man. That thing will slide out of you. You will be on to your next task before you know it.
Just watch the commercial and you'll be hooked.
So, Joe, think of your dog when he's going pooping.
Nope. Already
What's
solved
the
this. There's a
position
great
he's in
infomercial
compared
on
to
my
yours?
computer right now.
You deserve more comfortable poopies, friends. That's a form of self-care, is having more comfortable duties.
I agree with all of this.
Well, what would you recommend? The 7-inch height or the 9-inch? Or does it
That
matter?
depends on how tall you are. I think.
Right,
in
right.
The, in the toilet too. So okay.
Yeah.
I think we
love
broke
this.
Alan.
I love this. This is great.
Where's my tape measure?
It's just what I needed tonight.
back. There's a special on Amazon.
Oh yeah,
no,
yeah.
that's freaking
Buy two, get one.
awesome.
Buy two, get one free.
15,000 reviews. Where have I been?
Bro,
But I'm-
I think this
I'm
is the
asking-
intro to the whole show.
Is that
You're
Joe
about
doesn't
to
know what
be
a squatty
so
potty is?
happy
Yes.
as soon as you like get an opportunity to sit there peacefully with your phone not in the room because yuck, and you poop with your knees, up more. You're gonna be like, wow, I can't go back.
My daughters are gonna be like, "Is this for us?"
It's for
It's cool.
everyone.
It's for everyone.
all of us, honey.
They
It's
make
for
them
one in every
colorful.
bathroom.
Just like Wu-Tang, squatty potties are for the people.
Wu-Tang is for the children too.
Yeah, that's what's up for the
And,
children.
And I'm from Staten Island too, so even better. As far as the Wu-Tang reference goes, thank you.
My God.
What else do you want me to hit for you tonight? We got Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
we
I
got-
know, for real. Like, what's going on here?
Where's
How
the
else can I
checklist?
assist you?
My time meeting Method Man in a Best Buy just ran through my head.
Hello, that's rad.
It was great. Super nice guy too. Like very
bet.
chill, down to earth.
I heard
Oh,
that.
Oh, oh yeah,
Yeah.
all of them actually. I who else did I met? I met Method Man. I met Ghostface, and had a great conversation with both of them.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Man, it's almost as
Not
if
many
some of these
famous people
celebrities
up
are
here in
people.
Atlantic, Canada.
Not as many over by you.
No, well, although we do have one. Anyone know who Robert Jaillet is?
Yeah, I listen to him every day.
I don't know if that was serious or not. I'm
You did
just
it so
thinking, like,
quick,
who knows
too.
who this is?
Sorry, Doc.
Robert
I'm
Jaillet
sorry.
is this mammoth of a man.
I like him
Like
already.
a lumberjack.
So, what was his name? He was in the WWE.
Oh, like Diesel.
What was his name? Kurgan. Kurgan?
Been a while.
Yeah,
since I've
Kurgan.
I
watched
don't
wrestling.
watch.
So
been a
he
while.
went from WWE to film. So he played.
Your audio jacked up.
Ah!
Jail,
Yeah,
fix
Robot
your
Dr. Goku again.
hit your mic.
Punch it.
It's skipping.
About now.
That's
Much better.
better.
Not scary robot that wants
That
to
was-
eat all of our brains.
That was Five Nights at Freddy style right there.
New game's coming out soon, just so you know.
Yeah, so in 300, the monster that was kind of shackled,
Oh, that bro. Like that
the really big guy in Sherlock Holmes 2009.
Oh, okay.
Is
That's
that the
cool.
guy? Oh no! You know what? I know exactly who you're talking about because we had a conversation similar to this like 2 years ago, and you showed me a video of him, and I think you met him at a convention or something like that, or it was.
No, well, he's from close to my hometown.
Yeah, like he's not far from you. Yeah, no, I remember that.
The guy's massive.
He's a big dude.
Remember how
So
we
that's
His
said
head is
the,
like a
the
frying
famous
pan.
one you got in Canada?
No,
That's
we have a
the
lot
guy?
more famous people. He's just
You
closer
said
to
you have
where-
one, and you said
You
that
have
guy.
Well, from my end of Canada.
Oh,
Canada's
okay,
a huge ass
okay.
country.
Remember when we mentioned how we go off topic?
I don't recall that at all.
All right, awesome.
That doesn't sound familiar. I was on my phone, probably.
We weren't
We
being
weren't being
mindful.
Exactly.
We
Oh,
hit
man.
Squatty Potty, and that stuff just went.
When does yours arrive?
And
And
a
also,
half. Sunday.
that's the purpose of the Squatty Potty, by the way. too,
Sunday.
So.
It'll be in on
Nate-
Sunday.
You got Amazon Prime, right? 2 days?
Yeah,
There you go.
There we go.
Oh man.
I love us.
I missed the show.
well, I know we could sit here and chat all night, but I'd love to touch before we move on to just some, fun gaming talk. Just some ways people can adopt mindfulness in their daily lives. Like just a few things one thing just maybe for each of us that we could apply that somebody might be able to take away from this that they could apply to their daily lives maybe to help them be more mindful.
Well, one thing I mentioned to my clients is a simple yet extremely difficult exercise. Go to a park or anywhere where you can just sit down. Perfectly make sure you wash your hands, wear a mask, yada, 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 yada. But just go there for a couple of minutes and just sit. Listen to the birds, the trees, the wind. Don't look at your phone. Don't judge your thoughts because your thoughts are never going to stop. They're going to be flooding. But just let them be and refocus on just being there. On the tangible experience, the heat from the sun, or if the wind's cold. What you can hear, what you can smell.
I like that one. That puts you in the now.
Yeah, I've done
And
that in
it's
my
a lot
backyard
harder
before.
than it sounds.
Mm-hmm.
I like the you guys probably know what it is. It's the 4-7-8 exercise, the breathing exercise. You just sit in a comfortable position, like I sit in my office a couple times a week, and one of the things I like to do is just sit, relax, and then just kind of be mindful of where I am, but just close my mouth and inhale for 4 seconds, hold it for 7, like deep breathing, and then exhaling using my diaphragm to push it out for 8. So 4, 7, 8, and do that for several minutes and just focus on my breathing, my chest going on, up. I like to put one hand on my chest and one on my abdomen so I can feel my breath and then feel my diaphragm pushing it out to get all the air out. So that's one that I really like.
I'm going to keep it nice and simple. 5 minutes. Give yourself 5 minutes every day. Just 5 minutes to do nothing. 5 minutes just to check in, make sure you're doing okay, and then go about your day. And that's literally what I try to do every day. Because you deserve, and I'll say this for everybody, you deserve 5 minutes.
Yep, that's something my wife used to get mad at me. She'd call me like, "Why haven't you left work yet?" And that's the first thing I do is I'd clock out, I'd throw everything in my car and just radio off. 5 minutes, and then I would, just gave me that separation between work and then going home, and it put me in a much better headspace when I got there.
That's why people don't necessarily understand how important sometimes commutes can be. People generally don't like the commute, but it can be very underrated.
Guess it depends on where you live.
I used to
where you
commute
live,
40
depending on
miles
how
one
long
way.
it can be.
That was a
If
long
it's a
time.
2-hour commute, we can talk about it. But if you can get that separation, if it's like 15 or 30 minutes from work to home, you can give that separation between I just finished work, I'm in my car, I'm just either listening to music or focusing on what's going on, and then transition to home life.
Yeah, I like that. Anybody else have anyone?
I've always used my methods of kind of being mindful have changed a lot, but whenever I'm using meditation, I always use visualizations. Different ones like light hitting your head and then coursing through your body, or waves, or colors. There's so many different ways to do it. And I just, whatever happens to come to my head to do that time, that's the one I use.
Right, top the head down to the balls of the feet, and then out.
Yep.
So
it's a good way to get in touch with
you
your-
were gonna add. I was like, oh, I thought this podcast was rated differently.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's also a good way, like using that method helps me get in touch with my body too, because I try to feel every muscle relaxing throughout my whole body.
I like that.
It's hard to do. It takes a lot of practice.
I can dig that. I think if I were to advocate for one major thing, one way of like bringing in some more mindfulness, I would say start your day with mindfulness and end it. Like, even if all you can do is the 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night, to like have that time away from your devices where you're either letting go of the day and, setting those nice little triggers for your brain that says like, it's night time now, like put on the peaceful music, get the incense or the candles going. And then in the morning, like figure out what you want out of the day and what you want out of yourself before you do anything. Because otherwise, like we've been talking about autopilot this entire time. If I don't start my mornings with that deliberate, mindful intention and kind of like tell my brain, yo, buddy, this is the move today, then I'm lost on social media forever. Like I'm just gone. So like giving yourself that buffer of morning and night to start and end your day mindfully, where you check in and you release, or you check in and you decide, has made a massive difference in my life.
That's huge.
Very, yeah.
Love it.
Okay. I noticed you were talking over your shoulder there. We're not running too late for you.
No, I'm not. I'm looking at my pupper here.
Aw.
One of my dogs has a tendency to like, get all up in his own business over here, and he can be really loud. So I'm trying to stop him before y'all have to hear this,
Slogging.
because it gets
Yeah.
gross.
All right. Well, let's get into a little bit of gaming news. We had the Microsoft Showcase the other day, and what was it, about an hour-long stream where they showed off all of their new first.
Hello.
Yeah.
Main thing from that one, most people go Halo.
Senua.
A very polarized Either you've got the old school guys that like me that started with Halo CE on PC that I absolutely love it. I love the art style. I think it's a perfect throwback to that original era of gaming. And then you've got the people that came in post 343 that saw this very beautiful, very well rendered rendition of it, and they think it looks cartoony, and they're not wrong. And that was
It's an art style choice.
an art style choice, and it looked very, I guess it looked very bad for something that's going to be on a next gen console to look so very pedestrian.
I think they were just unpolished, is
Yeah.
what I heard referenced. But I heard some people say, if they added some ray tracing to it, it would look amazing.
And it came out probably later in this week that what they showed off was a 4-month-old build on a middle tier PC.
Mm-hmm.
So that wasn't even the finished product running on a Series X.
Yeah, let's just keep that for, PAX Online to release footage of, I guess. I don't know why you'd be holding on to it, this long.
Well, and if you had something that was unfinished, why would you put that in your showcase? You could have put that out on a YouTube video and it would have had the same effect.
Hype. I mean, people are chomping at the bit for anything. People just salivate, or like ravenous for like Halo. Like people love that franchise. Like it kicked off a lot of different franchises, Destiny included. That it's like the Godfather of the Actually, no, it's not the Godfather. Doom is the Godfather.
Yeah.
This is more like, I don't know, Goodfellas. I don't know. It's the reference, but you know what I mean. But it set that standard, and people just go crazy for it. So any sort of footage or news about it, people are just gonna be instantly attracted to it.
A lot of nostalgia involved in that for sure.
Yeah.
Really? There's also
very.
Go ahead. There's almost a law of diminishing return when it comes to graphical fidelity. There's only so many pixels that can be put on a screen right now. And
They're
some of the
working on that.
better looking games aren't the most realistic games. It's choice in art style.
But I thought more pixels meant more better.
You would think.
I don't know, Doc. You're the screen man. I mean, come on. You were talking about a new screen that's like $5,000 or something like that, like before we started recording.
Yeah, the new Samsung G9.
$1,800.
$1,800 computer monitor.
Get the hell out of here.
That's almost
You
that's
said.
pretty close to what that the stand for the new iMac was. What was it?
Yeah, that $1,000 stand.
Jesus.
Oh, but yeah, I mean, in that trailer, we got to see a bunch of other stuff that's coming out, like the Forza series. The next iteration of that just absolutely looks beautiful, like that
Oh,
one.
yeah.
And they admittedly said that the Forza has always pushed the hardware to its end, so that was nice to see that play well. And then you had a little Fable drop at the very end. A lot of people.
That was cool.
Woo!
That was a cute.
Fable's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
The frog, man, that's gonna be stuck in my head. You never see fairies, you see happy fairies, and then you never see them getting eaten by a freaking toad. So that was really that caught me off guard. I think I watched it 8 times just to see the reaction. That was something.
Yeah, a bunch of stuff coming out, and I guess the one that's getting a lot of people in our field is the Senua sequel.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that was a great game. If you haven't played it, it's really what's a good word?
Visceral.
That's a good way to put it.
What is it?
Senua's
Sacrifice?
Yeah.
That was
Oh,
wonderful.
Hellblade?
Good job, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Have you played Hellblade? Snaps?
I have not. No, I've had it recommended to me a lot, but I have not tried it yet.
It's probably, in my opinion, one of the best depictions of schizophrenia I've ever seen.
I have heard that it is really right on it in terms of the mental health perspective. I think that's why it keeps getting referred to me or recommended to me. How long does it take to go through it? This is like a story game?
It's
8
not
hours.
long. It's
eight to
yeah.
eight
Okay.
to 10 hours.
Yeah. There's no changing weapons or anything. Like your character pulls out the weapon when an enemy's nearby, but it's just the story and the voices in her head, like the development of the mental disorders and everything that you get to feel what it's like to be in her shoes and have this disorder is just
You're
there's-
using the hallucinations to solve problems.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and it's the game. The game is so well designed that it's recommended you play with headphones so that you can get the spatial audio out of it. Like they
Oh,
mapped everything from the voices. They don't just. It's not just left ear. It'll cycle around.
cool.
Yeah.
It's
It's
Very cool.
it's twisted though. There is some twisted stuff in it, but I'll tell you what, it's some of the most satisfying fight scenes ever. Like when you're fighting, it's cool, and the puzzles are really
Yeah.
neat too. You go down
Because
into
when I was
Helheim,
teaching-
so it's all Viking.
When I was teaching, I moved from a really, really old YouTube video to display what schizophrenia was to just pulling out a video of Hellblade.
Mm.
Just, this is kind of my new gold standard now in terms of hearing what that auditory hallucination is.
Heck yeah, video games.
We should reach out to Colin and see if he'll come back on again and talk about the new one. If he can.
We could.
I'll shoot him an email. No, but this one, instead of going down into Helheim, you see a great 15-minute video from the developers at Ninja Theory talking about how they've used the landscape of Iceland. 40 different locations they visited. So now the character is going to traverse across this vast landscape. So instead of going down and kind of being kind of like a little more confined, it's more wide open. So I'm really interested to see what direction they go in, especially the development of, just Senua's, psyche to where she was there to where she is now. I'm really interested in that. That's what's got me. And it's coming out on PC.
and it's coming out.
Yay.
And if you listen to the end of that conference there, all of these titles that they put out, including Senua, they're coming to the Game Pass Ultimate service. So you pay your $15 a month and you get Halo, you get Fable, you get Senua 2, you get Crossfire X, you get the Forza series. All of these are part of that subscription service now.
Really? You didn't touch on the most important one? Destiny 2 Beyond Light and all previous expansions.
There you go.
That's sick. Come on. That's a lot of game right there.
A
I
game.
love Destiny.
Right? That's my weekly play right there.
So yeah, that's they dropped this package, and this is when the next gen consoles were announced, and everyone was talking about price. The one thing I kept telling, because I'm an Xbox main myself, I kept telling everyone is Microsoft doesn't need to make money on the console. They're waiting. This is it's a game of chicken. They're waiting for PlayStation to release their price, and they're just going to undercut them by
$100.
40, 50 bucks, because this package right here that they just released, this $15 a month, that is your Xbox Live Gold, your access to the service, get you your games, get you your game sharing. Like you get 4 free games a month, 2 current gen, 2 backwards compatible, either 360 or Xbox original games. And now you get 100 titles plus all first party stuff for $15 a month. And most of us, are already paying.
It's one of the best values
We're already
in
paying
gaming right now.
bucks just to get access to Xbox Live.
Now, since it's
No.
Xbox and Microsoft, is this Game Pass... I don't know if it was announced. I didn't see this part, but is it going to be offered for PC as well? Because they do quite a lot of the cross.
Ultimate. You could get Game Pass, or you could get Game Pass PC. Game Pass was $10. Game Pass PC was $5. Game Pass Ultimate is both. So you don't even have to get the console.
Damn.
Yep. It is
It's good value.
Damn good service.
the gauntlet slap that Xbox just put out there. So I mean, I hope Sony comes up with something compelling, because this is it's going to be a tough sell.
Xbox has been
Sony,
doing a
yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
All those services, Nvidia, Google, they're all going to have to compete with that now.
I think I'm a Stadia fanboy. I think I'm done with Stadia after this.
Yeah.
That was the other thing that was included with Game Pass Ultimate, is they're now giving you access to xCloud, which is Xbox's streaming service. So those same 100 titles you can play on your Xbox and your PC, you can also stream them to your Android phone. Apple's coming. They're fighting with them right now because Apple's a pain in the butt with their marketplace.
It's Apple's Apple.
Yeah. You can't have a competing marketplace on their phone. So, when they released the beta for it on Apple, they said you can have one game on there. And so, okay, we'll give you Master Chief Collection.
Smack.
Got around it, but yeah, so everyone that was playing xCloud on iPhone was only getting 5 games. It's good. It's not again, being a Stadia user, Stadia works a lot better, but it's always been an ancillary feature. So it's nice that that's rolled into for the same price. It's an ancillary feature that, I'm going out and walking the dog, but I was in the middle of a strike. Let me fire it up on my phone real quick and be unmindful and zombie out down the road playing a D2 strike while walking the dog. Or when you're sitting in the doctor's office, when you have nothing to do, you can just fire it up and you can knock out a quick whatever, go empty your vault.
There's never nothing to do, man. There's never nothing.
Right.
No, it's true.
Inventory management is always the key.
Right?
Wait, are we talking about Destiny, or are we talking about in general? Like,
I was thinking about in general, but
Okay,
my
that's where I
community is
was.
gonna laugh at the fact that you went to inventory management next, because that is.
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Out my vault and read Facebook sometimes, I tell you.
A friend of mine does all of my, typically, until I did the charity stream where I raffled off, or basically said for every $1,000 we raised for St. Jude, I would do 1 day of PvE content, because normally I just play PvP. I just want to shoot at people. Like, I'm not looking to play against the environment as much. So we raised over 18,000, so I got to do 18 days of PvE.
Nice.
no.
And it's like the most I've done in a long time. And oh my God, as soon as like the postmaster fills up with all the stuff I've collected and everyone's yelling at me about inventory management, that's when I just shut down. I'm like, nope, not, it's too much. I got to look at every piece of this and decide if I want it or not. I don't know, man. I just want to have a hand cannon and a shotgun, maybe a sniper, rush out into PvP matches with my sword. That's all I want.
I dig it.
Simple needs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can get that sweet raid ring now,
Yeah.
That thing does look dope.
I think it's freaking awesome. I think I saw Dylan with it today. Like, he's put a shot out of it, and it was like, man, I might have to get that. My boss has this Indian chief ring that he wears like daily, like almost like in replace of like a wedding ring. It's just he loves, like, my wife's family, like, we all ride Harleys, like, it's just Harley family, and he rides an Indian, so it's always that constant like back and forth, and he has that big Indian ring, and I want to get that raid ring just so I could wear it to work when he comes in one day and be like, mine's better than yours.
There you go. Or you could get a Harley ring too, because that's definitely a thing. I used to sell Harleys, actually.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's
When
awesome.
I started on with like bikes and stuff. I was really interested in like engines and things when I was younger. I started like riding around the same time I started driving, and then I worked at Harley when I was like 18 to 20, somewhere in that range for a while, selling bikes. It was fun.
Nice.
Did they sell Segways at that Harley dealership? Because we could use one right now.
I didn't really get into bikes, really. Not at first. A good friend of mine went to MMI to be a tech for Harley.
Alan's still, he's
Dude, I love it. Dude, I never get to talk about bikes or anything like that. So
oh man.
one of these days.
Man, hit me up. We can talk about bikes. I was big in the biker culture for a long time from where I was living, and how it was kind of there wasn't a lot to do in that area. Like it was Rivertown, and it was biking and going downtown to Chicago to like find more stuff to do, but otherwise like motorcycles were pretty big.
Yeah, we used to go down to Bike Week down in Myrtle Beach and down to Daytona every year. Always wanted to go to Sturgis, but never made it out.
That's some spicy stuff, man.
Yeah, it's epic though. Come on. Nate, how you doing?
I'm good. Alan's you're
Sorry, what? Cut out there.
I said you're our resident Nintendo guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when I have time to pay attention to stuff, unfortunately.
Tell me what's the deal with this Giga Leak? I'm not up on the.
Oh, I think Bat might know him a little bit more than me on this one.
I don't even know what it is, so somebody please tell me what the hell
So the Giga Leak was, just it was basically I'm gonna dumb it down because of just of what I know. Just a complete hack and just overall looking at it was a data mine, and really all they found old Pokemon sprites that were never used. Luigi was actually supposed to be a playable character in Mario 64. Like there was a whole huge leak of things. There was Yoshi's Island was supposed to have like a creepy grandpa looking Yoshi with a white mustache. Just like a whole bunch of almost nonsense, realistically, at least in my
behind
opinion.
the scenes.
Yeah,
Version of Star Fox 2.
like
right.
concept like art type
it was all
deal?
concept art and things that were never really used. What makes this a little bit more invasive is they dug up personal conversations that developers had with each other, and nothing necessarily bad, but these developers were talking like as friends. It was just like they were talking about their lives. They were talking about, you know, the arguments that they got into with their husband or with their wife. Very minimal stuff that wasn't supposed to be put out there. Also, part of the hack was they dug up someone's like online journal or like their journal on their computer where they were talking about like personal trauma. So like this whole thing has just been like incredibly invasive, and it just begs the question for me, why are we looking this stuff up? Mario 64 came out, I think I was 7. Like it's so long
What,
ago.
96?
Okay, I was 6 years old
97?
then.
You make me feel old.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Nothing.
So like what begs the question is why are we looking this stuff up? And
Because
also
they can, probably.
Yeah, but I get it. So it does answer the lifelong question. Like, cool, I could have been Luigi in Mario 64, but did we also have to leak the guy's journal for Christ's sake?
Oh, that's a little much.
Right.
It's
That's
the
so
internet.
bad.
I know, but that's my and apparently this is only 1 gig of the information. Apparently, a few years back, I believe 20 terabytes. I could be wrong on that number, but a lot more information was like mined from Nintendo, and it was sold.
Sold?
It was sold off of the dark web, I guess. And so there's still information out there that hasn't been leaked.
Mario was
Yeah.
supposed to have a blue hat.
Right. But
It just seems all like nostalgic stuff that just. I
Doesn't
mean, it's
need to be there.
kind of neat, but yeah, didn't really need. You know,
Especially if it's like accompanying personal stuff. It doesn't matter
That's
how
what I
big
was
or
just
small it
getting to.
is. Like that's brutal.
yeah, like all that other stuff's like nostalgic, just kind of concept piece, but
Yeah.
bringing out private conversations, journals, and letting it out there.
right.
Lost me there. That is just
Exactly.
invasion of privacy, and just
That's like a long lasting kind of awful too. Like
Yeah.
I had an ex that went through my journal once, and he like went through it, decided that he was going to get mad at me for a ton of things in there from like before we even knew each other, ripped it up, and like it was really awful. And it was even after leaving that relationship and like trying to journal again later, I couldn't shake that feeling of like someone's going to read this I can't imagine that feeling, like having a journal of yours published out to the world, right? Like that's
Yeah.
so
Decades
unkind.
later, too.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh man.
Like yeah. It's an aspect of safety and trust that's completely thrown out the window.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Yeah.
and I've always felt like Nintendo has always been like this community of like fun. Like, yeah, we don't need to get a headshot every so often. We can just collect the star as Mario and get the same amount of enjoyment.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Race
Roll
each other
barrels
on
of
a rainbow
crocodiles.
bridge.
yeah, exactly. You know, friendships do get ruined with Mario Party, but still, they grow back.
Smash Brothers.
Or Smash Brothers, right?
That ended
But-
with a lot of thrown controllers and people stomping out of houses back with the LAN parties when that was coming out. Oh my god.
All right, bad example, but
Kirby, man. Kirby was banned. No.
Kirby and Jigglypuff.
I gotta breathe.
you leave my two puffballs alone. Anyway, but like Nintendo's always been this community of fun, getting people together, bringing everybody back onto the couch and playing games together. This whole hack is the exact opposite of that.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like.
It was unnecessary.
Yeah,
Yes.
Well,
and that's welcome and thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Hey, are you drinking a Moscow Mule? Was that a copper mug that I just saw?
ooh, Moscow
it's-
Mules.
It's not a Moscow Mule, it's water,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's in the Wild Bill's cup from
Okay.
PAX. Yeah.
I got excited. Forgive me.
Dude, you know how many I saw those at PAX East this year? You're walking
So
by the
many.
booth, like,
I almost.
oh
bought
my
one.
god.
At least one.
I have 3 in my kitchen.
I never even tried
just-
one. Like,
I just like the mugs. The soda's great. I like the mugs.
Is it good?
Yeah. If you like root beer.
I like root beer.
Yeah, exactly.
Their booth was wicked popular. I saw those mugs everywhere. Like when I didn't get many chances to get away from the booth, and every time I did, it was like after the convention closed, and I just walked for 2 hours on the floor. They were always closed, so I never really got to get a mug or try it or see what the hype was. But no, but
Yeah, it's not
Mentioning
like we won't
Moscow
kick you out
Mules.
of the booth or anything.
buddy of mine introduced me to those at PAX East last year, and my God, it's like one of my favorite drinks socially.
It's a real treat.
It
They're awesome.
I think I would like social drinks. I still go towards like an old fashioned. I'm a big
Ooh.
fan of having like a nice old fashioned where I can just sip on like one or two of them through the whole night. Doesn't really matter if it like if I sit with it for a while, you know, and the flavor.
Yeah.
I make a killer Mai Tai.
Mm.
Did not expect that, Nate.
I always like the Long Island iced teas.
I did not care for those, but iced tea in general is like not my vibe.
For a while, it was like going around to the bars around. I would hit trivia nights, but it always like coincided with like mixed drink nights. That was like buy one get one free, and more bang for your buck with a Long Island iced tea.
Those are dangerous.
Yeah, those and White Russians were the
Ooh.
yeah. If you could find a bar that would hand pour without a meter, you could go
Oh,
for $6-7. That you were good.
Yeah, but have you had a Moscow Mule?
I have.
They are wicked refreshing too. Like they're
Are.
good. I thought James was crazy. He's like, get one of these. It's like,
With proper glassware or mugware, it really makes a big difference. It's good
Does.
stuff.
all right, I'll meet you all at the bar in about
A year.
yeah yeah. I'll be
Joe,
at
give
GCX.
me 5 hours, Joe. I'll be up there.
Nah, I'll meet you in 3.
Yo,
All right,
if
there we
you're
go.
at GCX though, the upstairs bar made a good old fashioned. I was happy about that. They had a decent selection of like bourbon and whiskey. I was pretty pumped.
Supposed to be down. We were supposed to be down there with the Artist Alley with Pixels After Dark, and since it didn't happen, we did an online one. But
Nice.
definitely looking forward to next year.
Maybe next year.
Absolutely.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, we'll fly you in, JL. Don't worry. You get the special treatment.
It's all that Canadian border stuff.
Yeah, you got your passport now, so you're good to go.
Still haven't gotten it. Everything's shut down due to COVID.
Well, do
It
we
loads
have?
already. You just need to hand it in.
How did we get here?
Oh, just
Start talking about
we're like a
Russian
leaf on
games.
the wind.
We really are. We really are.
Well, Nate just
Ooh, squirrel.
typed in. Yeah, squirrel. I think that's all we have for gaming talk. But Nate did type in, or somebody did, anonymous weasel or something.
That was me.
Whatever it comes up on the Google Doc. Mentioning the kits. We haven't really talked about them really at all anywhere, but we could talk about it briefly here. One of the things that we have coming out with the nonprofit in the near future are mental health kits that are free to the individuals. And what these are just... I think it's right behind me. We've been putting them together.
Almost like we were
They are.
unprepared to talk about the topic.
I really was. I wasn't planning on talking about this, but I'll bring it up. One of the things that we saw and could trying to convey this. I don't have anything prepared or anything.
That's
Think
why.
about it like a one-time subscription box.
Exactly. We were looking at. Have you ever looked at subscription boxes for like mental health subscription boxes? There's a bunch of them, and you know what? If you want a little statue of Buddha that you can put on and kind of like look at and admire, that's great. But I noticed there wasn't a lot of real value in them, and one of the things we wanted to do with being a nonprofit is always following the mission. Our focus is promoting mental health awareness throughout the gaming community, but also giving back. And one of the things, since we're a nonprofit, we everything that we get goes right back out to the communities. And one of the things that we have been developing and curating are a mental health kit that's more like a box. So inside it, these you'll find various just resources and this and that, and each one will be every 50. There will be a series. So they'll be curated with new items. So these are going to be focused for gamers for before, during, and after gaming sessions. So like after, there's a weighted sleeping mask, Play-Doh for the sensory of it, fidget links. So when you're playing in between matches, I've been playing with it this entire time actually while we were talking. And it's just like a little, you can fit it in your fifth pocket, in your pocket. It's lightweight, portable.
I'm a woman. We don't get pockets.
It'll go on your keychain.
Perfect.
It's great.
I'll put it in my clutch.
There you go. Another great thing is there's also pens, journals to carry with you. Also physical reminders with bracelets and stuff, and free colored pencils. And one of the things that is going in it is a custom-made mindful coloring book that a lot of the artists in the community and throughout the community have donated pages. That the first book is coming in late next week, and the second one is getting printed after that. So we'll cycle the coloring books in each one. So you'll have some real value in that with physical items. And then also,
Love coloring.
it's great, and I can't wait for you and everybody else to see the pages in the actual book. That's
They
just
look
so
awesome.
great.
They do.
Another thing is,
One in particular I really like.
I can imagine. I know which one.
I know which one.
Never mind. Other things, you're going to find written resources in it, and in this one we have printed out grounding exercises for the sensory, and also safety plans. So you'll find a safety plan that you can write out for yourself and put on the fridge. Also contacts for crisis resources that you can put on your fridge and have with you, near you. Also a pamphlet on how to create your own self-care plan, talking about your 4 pillars of mental and physical health as well. So you have a lot of real value in this kit, and then also more resources going back into it. And it's also sponsored by several developers and publishers, Tiny Builds, Six Wing Studios, and the developer who makes Plane, which is a meditation game. And all of them have
I've been wanting
donated.
to try that.
So good.
All of them
Yeah.
have donated free game downloads. So each box is going to contain a free game, since it's focused for gamers, a free download game for it. So you'll be able to play it if you get
That's
one of
so
these
awesome.
these kits. And the great thing is about these, they're not for sale. These are free. These are
Oh,
100%
that's really
free.
nice.
So at conventions, when we're at conventions, at PAX or whichever convention we might be, we'll be making these and we'll be handing them out to people. So if you come by our booth, you're going to get something of real value that some people might not ever have the opportunity to have something like this. I mean, it's great to go through and get written resources and have them, but how many are giving you sensory items that are curated to help you when you're stressing out, when you have so much stress? The amount of benefits that you can get from putting on a weighted like sleeping mask and having that pressure on your eyes right here can help decrease that stress, and then also things that will help with anxiety and various other things. And every 50 boxes will curate new items into it. It could be like damn it dolls, you know, eventually when we get into it. We'll also have, you know, QR codes for music that will relax you and calm you and stuff, and various other things. So these mental health kits are going to be going out probably first week of September. We'll start sending them out.
That's cool.
Yeah, woo. Keep an eye on our channels on Twitter and all of our socials and website, and there'll be links and everything for people to sign up to get them. And as long as we can keep the funding and everything coming in for them, we will just keep making them and sending them out to people, and just trying to do our best to help promote mental health awareness and give people an opportunity to get something of real value for them that costs them nothing, that they can really benefit from. And that includes, you know, items for helping with meditation and, you know, creating good habits. And, you know, if you would like to work with us, Snaps, and help us curate a few things for it, we'd be more than happy to help, you know, have you, you know, work with us and put an item in there, and letters of encouragement in there as well from the staff and team members. So they're going to be, we've been working on them for a little while now, and we're really looking forward to getting them out there. So
Yeah, please hit me up. I have some ideas. There's definitely some stuff that I've got in the works for the future that I think myself and my partner involved would love to donate to that cause.
for sure,
Awesome.
absolutely. Yeah, we'll definitely connect. Yeah, absolutely.
Quick question regarding those. Somebody asked in chat, would we be able to ship those overseas?
Yes, we can ship overseas. It's to where we can. There's actually, Quebec has got some weird shipping laws, so there are some areas around the world, and I don't know why Canada, but that give
Because
real
it's
trouble
Canada.
for shipping things.
It's the
And
moose.
You think
It
it's
is
the
the
moose?
moose. It's
But
the moose.
no.
It's all the moose's fault.
Yes, we will ship them overseas. It's a little more costly, but we don't collect a paycheck. We do this to help make a difference for others, help to provide meaningful resources, help guide people to those resources, and give people the opportunity to connect with mental health professionals, or, you know, have somebody just to do things like this, to, you know, give back to the community whenever we can. And this is one of the things that we're doing for it. So, you know, we'll be shipping out these mental health kits very soon. We'll definitely connect with you, Snaps. You know, that would be fantastic.
Yeah,
But-
yeah. And like if we can help like my community, our community, if we can help with funding some of the shipping and stuff, I don't know.
Oh yeah,
That
that
would
would
be
be awesome.
useful. Like we'd be totally happy to do a little charity stream to try and make it easier for you to ship some of those out, because then you can hopefully create more of them, right?
Right now we have enough for 100 going out right now, just for the initial. And we're hoping as funding keeps growing with it, we're going to try and do a few campaigns specifically for these, and those funds will 100% go right into these, creating them, curating them, creating, you know, new resources, curating new items for it. And the more funding we have, the more like higher dollar things that we can put in it, like a mental health book, a damn it doll, something, just items that are meaningful and useful, and that just have real value to a person and in any situation that they could be, you know, benefited from. So
Like $1,000 monitor stand, right?
that might be a little out of the
That might be a
ballpark.
stretch.
I mean,
That's not a mindful
No,
inclusion. That's
no.
okay.
If you're gonna
No.
if you're gonna play plain on it though,
Although that display is quite gorgeous, I must say.
I tried.
I don't know, Krish, who's the developer, sole developer of Plane. I connected with him. He's in the Discord server, and he's been so wonderful and is so great with supporting this and supporting the nonprofit and everything. So we're going to be including download codes for Plane in a lot of the boxes. And same thing with Tiny Builds. The publisher and developer have donated 3 separate games to us, and it's just been fantastic. And our friends over at Six Wing Studios, some of the games that are going to be included are all on PC, but we wanted something that people could carry around with them, hence their phones. And our friends over at Six Wing Studios have a meditation game that people can bring with them that they could do daily meditations on, that have this cute little pet on there that you can help
Like
develop.
a mindfulness
over time.
Tamagotchi.
Yep,
I
it's
heard about
fantastic.
this.
Yep. Gabe has been fantastic, and
Gabe
those are
was
going to
awesome.
be included in every single box. And it's a free beta right now, so if you want to play it, you can. And yeah, that's it. I can sit here and literally ramble all night long.
And he will.
I will. Yep, unscripted or anything. Sorry. Nate caught me off guard. I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting to talk about it.
I think it's really cool. I really would love to support something like that. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, we'll get in touch here soon and see what we can do. Definitely. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, everybody, we
I think
made
that
it to the end of the
wraps
show.
us up.
Yeah,
That a show?
that is.
The show.
I think it's a show.
Does
Is
anybody
it time to
have-
clap for Joe again?
I
You did a
find
nice
this-
spiel, Joe.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on tonight, Snaps. Like
Thank
I've
you very much.
forever, and you've always been such a positive person, and your community is they're great. Like you guys are trying to make a big difference, and it's much needed in our gaming community. Like it's been, especially this year, it's gotten very ugly. So
Yeah.
the people we have that are making this not a stigma and not a curse and not a sickness, it just helps. It helps everyone. We're all going to get through this.
Yeah, I'm really happy that y'all reached out. I'm happy to have met all of you at this point now.
Yeah.
I think my crowning achievement of the evening has been like every time that I've watched Alan have to sit back in his seat to laugh. That's a very satisfying thing. Do y'all enjoy that as much as I enjoyed that?
100%.
It happens a lot.
Oh, I'm super
I like
giggly
it.
tonight too. It's awful.
I liked it a lot. But yeah, for real, this was awesome. I love what y'all are doing. And like, if there's, I have a hard time with email at times. If any of you have ever tried to reach out to me via email, you understand this. But like, hit me up on Twitter, hit me up in Discord. Like, if there's anything that myself or the community can do to further the efforts of what y'all got going here, like, we'll do what we can. I love what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank
Appreciate
you so
that
much.
so much, and it's been such a pleasure, and so glad to finally get an opportunity to chat with you. And this has been a great experience. Thank you so much.
Yeah, totally. Oh, and you're gonna have such great poops starting Sunday, you said?
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
I'm really happy
Yeah.
for you and your butt, bud. I'm
Thank
really
you.
happy for
Me
you.
too. I'm more excited for the reaction everybody in my house is gonna have when that comes in, and I have them open it, and they're gonna go, "What?
What the hell is this?
What-
I'm gonna go. Snaps told me all about it. I googled. Like, let me show you a video, and it's gonna
Yep.
be a unicorn, and it's instantly gonna win my daughters over.
Yep.
What color did you get?
I'm not telling you. Private.
I'm gonna get your address. I'm just gonna send you the unicorn colored one. I think. Just gonna
There's
pop
not a
it.
unicorn colored one, is there?
There was. Maybe there's not anymore.
I haven't seen it. I would have purchased that hands down.
You know,
Well,
there's
I'll
always
get-
spray paint.
I can't
We'll
believe
always
we're
get
back
you a
on this
colorful one.
topic. Snaps, before we go, could you do us a solid and tell everybody where they can find you, more of your content, your podcast, Patreon, everything.
Yeah, sure. The Patreon is patreon.com/shesnaps, and that's my Twitch too, twitch.tv/shesnaps. On the Patreon, I do one-on-one sessions for people who are looking to bring a little more mindful practices into their days. And I also do bi-weekly group sessions now where we get however many people want to sit down for a video chat, and we basically run through shades, like that acronym. Just check in with each other. We all kind of brainstorm how we could be a little better on those routines. When we feel a little stuck, we have people to talk it out with. And I have those mindfulness podcasts that go out every Monday on the Patreon. So for anyone who wants to support what my community is doing, that's definitely a great way to do it. But otherwise, all my other social media is MindofSnaps, and my regular podcast is going to be coming back this next week, actually. I'm very excited. I'm going to be interviewing Rome Ramirez from Sublime with Rome. So we're going to have a nice chill session. He's a really cool dude.
Matt got super excited.
I did, because I
saw
love
that.
them.
I love it.
I love him.
He's one of the nicest dudes ever. So we're gonna have a nice morning chill chat, and I'm looking forward to it.
And if it was anyone to take over that group, it was as the singer, at least it was.
I'm
it was him.
saying, what a great unique voice.
Yeah.
That doesn't, like, you don't feel like they tried to replace Bradley Noel, but just evolve with someone who's got that like vibe, but not that sound.
So good. He's so good.
Mm-hmm.
And he also won't do certain songs live because he doesn't want to ruin what was originally done. Not ruin, but he doesn't want to copy what's been done in the past, which I respect greatly.
Mad respectful. And I like all of his like collaborative work with like Dirty Heads too. Big fan. So it'll be a good time.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't mean
you got
to...
a fan for life now, man. You just made Matt's night.
Just two of my favorite bands right there that I've seen live so many times.
There we go. That's what's up. Yeah, so that's all my social is MindofSnaps, but the Twitch and the Patreon are the only things that are She Snaps still.
Awesome. Right. You can follow us on Guardians Mental Health, Guardians MH on Twitter, Twitch, and we also have a Discord where you can get in contact with mental health professionals in the server, be guided to meaningful resources. We have resources in there. Our verified real-time support bot is now supporting almost touching 200,000 individuals. And you can also, if you want to email us at support@guardiansmh.org, and listen to us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts. And leave us a review. We'd appreciate that. It's been a little while. And that's it.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. It's been.
That was like really great tone. No, that was like dead on. That first one, that was good. Am I not supposed to gas him up? Is this encouraging him too much?
It's the coffee and almost hitting midnight. It's just, it's kicking in.
The perfect storm.
It's the giggle hour.
No. It is.
The pumpkins are about to come out.
Yeah, the pumpkins. Okay, we're going to try and beat the pumpkins. Snaps, thank you so much again. And thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us again. And we will catch you next time. Have a good one. See ya.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.